Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our program, Time for Change. We are once again honored to host you and once again honored to talk to you about a very interesting topic today. And we would want you to invite a friend, ask people to join us on this program. We are feeding live on Facebook and YouTube. And we're going to talk today about a very important subject. And that is the importance of Jesus. When he dwelled this earth, he was emphasizing the most important fact that children are very important for us. And we are living in a society today where so many things are happening and so many children are influenced negatively. So welcome to the program, and we are once again honored to have you on our program, Time for Change. We are broadcasting tonight all the way from Hermanus in the Overstrand, the Western Cape province in South Africa. And I have one of my colleagues with me today, Mikey. Mikey, please introduce yourself to us and welcome to the program tonight.
Thank you very much. I am Martha Wandrag, and I'm with Enlighten Trust now for about 5 years. But I was born in Vereniging in the Gauteng area and raised on a farm, and the farm's name was Goed Verwacht.
Wow.
And in English, it's expecting just the good. And I think that's what my whole life is about. I just expect the good.
So you were a farm lady?
Yeah, I was brought up on a farm.
Praise
and I always wanted to marry a farmer.
Wow. So eventually, did you marry a farmer, Mikey?
No, I married a farmer of the sheep.
Wow, that's great stuff. So we have Martha Wandrag tonight with us, and she's a colleague of mine working here in Hermanus for an NGO called Enlighten Trust. And Mikey, please tell me, you are an incomer in Hermanus. So for how long have you been here in Hermanus?
Next year it will be 10 years.
Wow, 10 years in this beautiful town called Hermanus, here in the Western Cape, a town very much a tourist destination. People coming to this town, especially this time of the year, come and watch whales and enjoying life and summer here in the Overstrand. And we are so honored tonight to have you here with us tonight. So Mikey, tell us your career. Can I perhaps learn more about where this career started? Because you had a long and outstanding career.
Okay. After school, I went to Potchefstroom University, met my husband, and studied domestic science, which I didn't want to. I followed 4 courses before I got to that.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, and then, I met my husband there, and we got married. We've got 4 children and now 2 grandchildren. And then we moved to Palabora, and we were there for 32 years.
Wow.
Where we stayed near the Kruger National Park and went in for every month of
Oh, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
So the Kruger National Park, in what province? That is basically northwest.
It's Limpopo.
Limpopo.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, Palabora is just at the gate of the Kruger National Park.
Praise the Lord. So you said you are married to a farmer of a sheep. So you are married to a dominie.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. Just to tell me, how did you meet this dominie?
I didn't meet him, he met me.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
He saw me on the hockey field because that's my only claim to fame in life. I played for the first team of the university in my first year, and then he saw me there in Bloemfontein because we were there. And then he only had the guts to ask me the next year for intervarsity.
Wow, praise the Lord. So you met the dominie, and the dominie fell in love, and ever since, the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
So you've been married for how many years, you said?
47 years.
47 years. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a life that needs to be celebrated. So, Mikey, tell me, so you went to university? And what happened after university?
Okay, after university, I went back to the school. I was at school in Meyerton, and then I was a teacher, the basic science teacher there. And then, yeah, we were there I was there only for a month, for a year, and then I moved to Pretoria, and then I worked there in a Department of Health Science Laboratory, and then we got married there, after that, and then we moved to Palabora. So that was, up till then, it was quite just a normal married life.
Praise the Lord. So you a Dumini's wife. So obviously there's a lot of stories to be told from a woman who is actually living in church.
Yeah.
So tell me, for how long have you been in ministry with your husband?
Gosh, it's from 1972.
Wow.
Until we left Palabora to come to Hermanus in 2008.
So that's 46 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Praise the Lord. So we have Martha Wandrag tonight with us, ladies and gentlemen, on our program called Time for Change. And we are honored tonight to have such an experienced and well-exposed personality here in Hermanus. And she is well-equipped in the sector of ECD, early childhood development. And we are going to trust the Lord tonight that we're going to learn lots of things with regards to the sector, because I believe that there's a lot of things that is happening in our country, and the most important task that we've received from the Lord is to look after His children. So Mikey, tell me, how did your passion for ECD start?
Okay, I was at home raising my children, 4 children, and I gave needlework classes for 10 years, a beginner's course and an advanced course and a tailoring course. I made all my sons' suits for them always. And then the phone of some people came and visited me one day, it was in 1988, and asked me to please apply for the post for a principal in the big preschool Hermanus had there. It was Magnus Preschool, because Magnus Dijssel started the preschool in Palabora.
Yes.
So I applied, but they didn't appoint me because I was not qualified for ECD.
Wow.
So after 3 months, 10 o'clock one night, the phone rang, and they told me, we have appointed you unconditionally as the principal, because the other one left, which they did appoint.
Wow.
And I said, why? They said, yeah, because you've got the ability to uplift the school again, because it really went down the past few years.
So are you telling me that after a few months that they now reconsidered you and they've called you to come?
Yeah, at 10 o'clock the phone rang. So that next morning, it was the 1st of September, so it's 30 years this month.
Wow.
Yeah, I started there. And that was 1988, and I was there for a week, and then I realized I can't do this without being educated in ECD, because domestic science won't help me a lot. Well, it did eventually a little bit. And then I subscribed at UNISA in the next year, and I did my HED diploma in pre-primary over 3 years with my 4 children, the youngest one in grade 1 and the eldest one in matric.
That is fantastic. So you've been married, you've been in ministry with your husband, you had 4 children, and still you went for study.
Yeah.
To equip yourself.
I have a wonderful husband. So he attended to the children, the groceries, the washing. So he really helped a lot.
What a privilege. Yes. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a colleague of mine on the program here in Hermanus, and her name, we call her Mikey, and she is passionate about early childhood development. And I know at this stage the government of South Africa, they are investing a lot of resources in this sector. But Mikey, I have a question for you tonight. My question is, there's a lot of impetus on ECD and investing from the government side, from even from private sector, with regards to making sure that children, small children, get well equipped and being made ready for schooling. But we still have a struggle with lithium in our country. We still have a problem where kids actually go through high school and they still have challenges with literacy and numeracy levels. So what can be done?
I've got that on the next page.
No problem.
I think it is because there was so much people neglected in the past for so many years, and people do not realize that school readiness starts at birth. You can't wait until 6 years old. So that's really something parents have to must realize now, that they must do the basic things with children right from birth. They can't just feed them and clothe them and let them play.
Wow. Yeah. Mikey, you must stay with me. I'm a bit lost. You say that the responsibility of a parent is vital because it starts from the birth.
Absolutely.
So how can a parent start with this learning process with their kids from birth? Just give me a practical example.
Just when you are attending to your baby, changing his nappy, you talk to him all the time, you touch him, he's hearing the words, brain connections. I've got something here on brain connections that's absolutely wonderful. When a child is born, you've got 100 billion neurons already at 5 months. And it's looking like that. They call it, I think in English it's also dendrites.
Yes.
So it's like that in your brain. Billions of them. Every time you touch a child, it's a connection. Every time he hears something, it's a connection. Every time he smells something, he tastes something, it's a connection.
So what you are actually saying tonight is that since from birth, the learning process of a learner actually starts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your start is just as important as your preparation time when you go to school.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
It's absolutely necessary for parents to realize this now, because this is the biggest problem in our country. Because I had a case in Blompart in Kleinmond years ago, when we were talking about stimulating the great R's and recognizing numbers and counting and whatever. So I told the teacher, please ask your parents to help the children recognize the numbers just from 1 to 5. So at least when they go to school, they can do that. And she said, when I tell that to the parents, they tell me, it's your responsibility as the teacher, it's not mine.
So many a times we think as parents, we think teachers are being paid to train and to teach our children. But tonight, we once again on Time for Change, we realize and we get new information. And I believe that information brings transformation in people's behavior. So parents, tonight we are challenged to understand that we have a bigger role to play than just working for our kids, than just playing with our kids. For we have such a big role, and it starts from birth. So tonight I want to ask you another question, Mike, if I may. My question is, surely in preparation for the kids to go to school one day, when they are 6 years old or 7 years old, there's a lot of preparation work that needs to be in place before you actually send your kids to school. So what does that entails?
If I just attend to literacy and mathematics, for literacy, just reading to your child a story every night. You can't underestimate that value. It is the create a relationship between you and your child, because it's not for him about the story. It's sitting on your lap. It's feeling my mother or my father is now spending time with me. I've got their whole attention, and that I can't tell you the value of that.
So you say tonight that it's important that we realize that we should many of those moments that we spend in front of television or even outside our houses, we need to make sure that daily we read a story to our kids.
Yeah. I had a rule in our house. First a normal story, and then the Bible story, and then pray, and then sleep. So
Wow.
that was the routine every night in our house, as long as I know.
So surely routine
Yeah.
also plays a role.
Absolutely, yeah. And apart from that, when a child listens to a story, he learns to concentrate.
Yes.
So by the time he gets into school, he can already listen and concentrate.
So
And
obviously
then,
it
yeah.
will lessen the burden
Absolutely, yeah.
on teachers.
Of the teachers, yeah. And hearing the words, hearing the pronunciation, learning about life outside his world, what's going outside on in the world, seeing it in the book,
Yes.
learning about dinosaurs that did exist. It's absolutely wonderful
Wow.
for children. Yeah.
So those are a few things that parents can
Yeah.
do to set their kids up for success in high school.
Yeah.
And in this society of today, we are so burdened with overtime work, with so many other activities, and we abandon these most basic principles of spending times with our kids, reading stories for them, and even this basic thing like touching and communicating with your kids can play a pivotal role in the preparation years of your kids. So Mikey, you are now currently you are working at Enlighten Trust, and you are supporting the ECD sector, and you are supporting. Tell us more about what you guys are doing in this area with regards to all these ECD sites.
Okay. First, when I visited sites 8 years ago, there was no normal daily program. There were no learning program. The teachers would literally sit there like that in the sun, watching the children play, and sometimes they're not even there. So we started first to give them a daily program, start at 8 o'clock, give them a theme, or counting first and the morning ring, what we
Yes.
do, opening with prayer and singing, and then talking about the theme, like last week it was the whales, and exposing them to that.
Wow.
Giving them, according to their age group, 5 words for the 5-year-olds and
Yes.
3 words for the 3-year-olds, and they see it on the board, they see the heading, it goes into their brain, they talk about it, they draw, they play with clay, it's 3-dimensional, because what's most important, if a child is creating something 3-dimensional, he can much more easily draw it when
Yes.
he has to do it. And starting to creating something and drawing, that's the beginning of writing and reading. So never to give children photostats of things for them just to color in or whatever. They must use their own
They must also produce.
imagination. Yeah. So you can show them how a whale looks and make a drawing or draw it to them, example, but then you take it away and then you leave him, and then it's up to him what he presents to you.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so much to talk about tonight. We are focusing tonight on the importance of early childhood development and what we can do as a community to help our country to change around all our outputs with regards to the current problem that we have in schooling. Less than half of the kids that enter school finishes matric in our country. And that's really a challenge for us as a country. We cannot afford it anymore. And I believe it's time for change, and it's time for us to realize that we can play a part to change paradigms in our community. So, Mikey, you are such a wonderful, resourceful person. Every day and every engagement I have with you, I learn a lot of things. You even invite me to visit sites, and I meet these teachers. So one of the things that I now realize that you did in your work here in Enlighten is to put structure in place for these ECD centers to make maximum impact.
And that's what so many people don't realize. Our God is a God of order.
That's right.
In a preschool, if even it's little kids, they want order, they want structure, they want routine, they want discipline, not in a rude way, but they want to know what's happening next. And that you get by a a fixed daily program, and you can adjust to it. When there's something happening outside, you do it. But they really need routine and structure.
Wow. So Mikey, my question tonight is that now we have structure in the ECD centers. We have support base in the communities where, like people like you, going out and support and even train these ECD practitioners and making sure that everyone in the ECD sites know what to do, what is expected in terms of the law. But now surely there's one missing link, and that's the role of parents.
What can be done to help the parents? I think we really have to have more guidance, parents' guidance evenings towards literacy, mathematics, whatever there is, and get the parents to get involved in their children's lives, like playing games with them, not sitting in front of the TV, as we said.
Yes.
Constant communication with the ECD teacher or the principal. So there's communication on how far has my child developed so far, what can I do to help. Also providing the history of a child to the preschool, because if the teacher knows how the birth went, how the development of the child went until he came into her class at 4 years old, what barriers did he have? It'll help that teacher to provide whatever he needs.
So the parent is actually the historical resource.
Absolutely. And sometimes they don't even tell the teacher that child was a premature baby and whatever, and then you can't understand why this child is so not going along with the whole class.
Wow. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we discovered a lot of information with regards to the ECD sector and what is basically happening in this realm of education. And we've realized tonight that parents plays a very important role in the development of the kids' life. And it's so important, those preschool years, what we do, the foundations that we lay for our kids. We know that the foundations that are laid helps the kids to become and to raise far beyond what we ever expected. So parents needs to play a big role in helping the kids, especially where there's a struggle with specific shortfalls in the curriculum. Understanding parents can play a role by spending time, making sure that the homework are done properly, making sure that the kids know how to do the things that they need to do in school. So parents do have a role. Parents don't only have to pay school fees. No. Parents must be involved in the kids' work.
They must really help the school, because you have got some parents who also have the ability to support the poor children that's in the school, to help with nutrition, to serve on the governing bodies, because if you have got skilled parents, that you can help the governing bodies to get skilled teachers, to see to the financial and monitoring the financial side of to see to the safety of the children, to help with the maintenance of the building. Yes. There's so many things we need the parents to do.
Wow. Mikey, one of the things that I realized ever since I've been working with Enlighten is that there is not enough ECD spaces in our towns.
Absolutely not, yeah.
So if someone wishes to go in this sector, they wish maybe to start their own business, maybe open their own ECD center, where do you start?
Well, you just have to get the accommodation first,
yes,
and the zoning and whatever it's needed for that. But as I've told you before, there are possibilities here in our own town for more or less 5 ECD centers that can start next year if we've got the money.
Yes,
it's the funding that's not.
So if someone wants to start their own ECD site, they can even use their own house.
Yeah, they can use their own house and just start. Yeah.
And then they need to talk to local government.
Yeah. But they must have a skilled person, a qualified person
Which is
that
important,
at
yes.
least had done a course in ECD.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very influential and a very resourceful person tonight with us on the program. We have Martha Wandrag here from Hermanus, and she is helping all the ECD sites across the Overstrand region, and she's doing a marvelous job, a lady full of experience, full of love for children and parents in the ECD sector. I've seen her at work in these ECD centers. She is passionate about her work, and we are so honored tonight to have her with us tonight on the program. Mikey, thanks for being with us tonight on this program. I have a final question for you. My question is, what is your personal vision for ECD in our country?
Ooh. For people to come and guide these thousands, for the teachers training colleges to open again, because they were there and we had a lot of ECD teachers, but they now far and few behind among us. And then also for the colleges to provide this special ECD course, because some of them have got a mixed course for primary school as well.
Yeah.
And then for inspectors to come to the centers again, not to check on the centers, but to guide them, because that's what
Yes.
I had. I had wonderful mentors in my past guiding us. They were very strict, but it
Yes.
was wonderful. For the budget, to talk, to get enough money to pay the practitioners, because they are paid such poor salaries as 2,000 Rand a month or so.
So in other words, what you are saying is these people are doing a most important job in the educational building.
Yeah.
They're doing the foundation, but they are not paid
they're
sufficiently.
not paid, yeah. And to build proper ECD centers, not just a wall and say there's a place for the children. It must be proper classes, equipped with a kitchen and whatever. Then to make ECD a priority in this country, it seems to me they worry more about secondary and
tertiary level education.
Tertiary level, and they don't worry about preschool. So it must be a priority in our country. And I wish for the politicians to come to Zwelishwe and just have a look on what's going on. We've got 27 centers in Zwelishwe.
Wow.
Only 5 get subsidy from the government. In Houston, there's 5, only 1 gets subsidy.
Wow.
In Mount Pleasant,
So why are the rest not getting?
There's not enough funding available, and the whole process of getting registered.
So they don't comply.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really
That's a challenge.
Yeah. And in Kleinmond, there's 13 and only 4 get subsidy. So, and also to support a learning program. We are now here, several schools in need of a learning program, but we haven't got the funds to provide it for them. So we have to depend on outside funders to give us some funding just to make photostats and provide them with a learning program. And yeah, now currently the community takes the responsibility for these schools instead of the government taking responsibility.
So your vision is basically that the government should play a bigger role.
Absolutely, and to provide for disabled children, because I had an autistic child in my last grade R class with 30 other children, and I can tell you, it takes all your energy and whatever to cope with one child and the rest of the class. So there must be provision for children with disabilities.
Wow. That's a big vision, Mikey. That's I'm so impressed. My final question to you tonight is, maybe tonight there's an ECD principal, ECD center or care center principal that is discouraged, and maybe a teacher wants to throw in the towel, and they are watching this program tonight. Do you perhaps have any encouragement for them tonight in closing?
Never give up.
Wow.
Yeah, because you get really discouraged when things are not turning
Just
out
talk to her.
right.
Maybe someone is watching you now.
Yeah, and you must never get discouraged. Stand up every morning and you know you've got a task to do, and God will provide you with that love and energy. You must just be willing to do it. That's all.
Wow. Praise the Lord. Mikey, thanks a million for being with us tonight. It was such an honor and such a privilege for me personally to have you on our program tonight. So, brothers and sisters, this is big. This is very important. For God, children is very important. Many a times people wanted to ask children to get out of the way when Jesus was near. But Jesus rebuked people saying, leave these children alone because they belong to me. And we have such a big responsibility to raise a new generation, a generation that can succeed. We must always remember that success is not a secret. Success is predictable. And we can predict every learner's possibilities in life and success in life through the setting up of the proper foundations. So parents, we have a lot of work to do. We need to help our kids to become the best they can ever be. And remember tonight that it doesn't matter what happened in the past. We cannot trust our past because our past left us. We can't even trust our present because our present will also leave us soon. But our real life is in the future. God bless you all, and continue to watch us, continue to follow us every Saturday evening from 6 o'clock. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. And don't stop to support our program. We're going from town to town, and we want to encourage our nation that it is time for change. God bless you all.